Hello everybody! I'm going to be opening up the doors of the CCP to give you an exclusive 1-hour look to find out what's up, what's hot, and what's happening next here at the Cultural Center of the Philippines. I'm Cutie Del Mar. This is the Red Carpet. The month of September is truly special for the Cultural Center of the Philippines because it is the anniversary month. CCP was formally inaugurated on September 8, 1969. We had a bit of a difficult time choosing just one highlight event, so we decided to mark all of CCP September events for our What's Hot. Here's what we have in store for you. Not just one night, but 2 nights of awe-inspiring music provided by internationally renowned pianist Cecile Licad and cellist Alban Gerhardt, together with CCP's resident company, the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra. A recognition party for CCP employees who have been or are still part of the Cultural Center for the past 40 years now. Not only multimedia, but multi-sensory exhibit which chronicles the development of the Cultural Center of the Philippines as a cultural institution. And last but not the least, a special performance that gives tribute to former First Lady Imelda Romualdez Marcos as the founding chair of the CCP. Of course, we'll also give you CCP's schedule of events for the next month because we want to make sure you don't miss out on any of the exciting events happening next month. But before that, let's take a look at what CCP's resident theater company has in What's Up?
Considered as one of the greatest plays of the 20th century, Bertolt Brecht's Mother Courage and Her Children has an essential message. Although it was written in 1939, the lessons and insight that it imparts transcends time and national and ethnic boundaries.
Ibig mong sabihin, hindi pa matatapos ang giyera?
Dahil namatay ang medyo, ha? Huwag kang manisip.
As part of its 23rd theater season, Tanghalang Pilipino, the resident theater company, decided to stage a play based on Bertolt's great anti-war masterpiece.
Para makipagtalo sa'yo. Gusto ko lang malaman kung kailangan akong bumili ng supplies, ha? Nang pauwi ka rito, halika rito.
Entitled Madonna Brava ng Mindanao, the play takes the soul of Mother Courage and transplants it in the setting of war-torn Mindanao.
Tandaan ko, sa isang linggo, magaling na yan. Kapag tigmaan
The play features award-winning actress Charmaine Buencamino in the title role.
kung darating ang tagumpay ay patay ka.
I'm playing Mother Courage, which is now called Maduna Brava, meaning a mother that is courageous. And my character is that I have 3 children, and we're like gypsies selling wares during the war. Unfortunately, all my children die because of the war, and yet I have to cling on to war to be able to live.
Mother Courage is recognizable by her famous cart full of supplies that she sells to make a living during the war. In the Tanghalang Pilipinas adaptation, the cart was translated into a multi-cab overflowing with wares, complete with a motorcycle. This is not the only change that Tanghalang Pilipino did from the German original.
The difference is that this play was made or mounted to explain the war in Mindanao. So that's a big difference. So the setting is different. And because we want to explain the war in Mindanao, some scenes have been cut out. Even one major character is cut out, which is the cook. And we have given voice to the Muslims. We have some scenes where they are talking and explaining why they are at war and what it is they are fighting for.
To make sure that the message gets passed loud and clear, the play was performed not only in Tagalog but other dialects as well, adding authenticity to the Mindanao setting.
I think it's very interesting and very relevant if we adapt classics to the Philippine situation. And in this case, we adapted it to the war that is happening here in the Philippines, in Mindanao. And because of that, we have to use dialects, no? And it's interesting because in this play, almost everyone has an accent, if not a dialect to speak. So masaya kasi you get to learn and you get to listen and you get to even parang really take note of the different tongues, the different dialects that we have.
Tanghalang Pilipino's adaptation of Mother Courage and her children needs a deft hand to perfectly capture the culture and the situation in Mindanao.
Mismo ng mabuti, paano ba matatapos ang digmaang ito na? Tungkol ng chicken sa liit. Oktubre, Nobyembre, Disyembre, Lubilo.
That's why they chose noted cultural worker and founding artistic director of Kaliwat Theater Collective of Davao, Nestor Horfilia, to direct the play.
Ay, naku tatay! Ay, sarap niya'y mabuhay sa piling ni Inday! Isang rehimeng diktadura ni Marcos ay nagsumikap na patatagin
This is the first from Mr. Nestor Horfilia.
ng kapayapaan sa Mindanao.
At hindi nagtagal umusbong ang panibagong puwersa, ang MILF o Moro Islamic Liberation Front.
Well, it's Tanghalang Pilipino's intention actually to have it set in Mindanao. But we agreed into it on 3 reasons. No? First, there's a lot of stories about Mindanao, the war in Mindanao particularly. But the stories are just focused on who wins and who lost, on the contending forces in the battleground. We thought that we might present a different perspective of the war, of how war dehumanizes everyone. No? I mean, ordinary people and the effects of the humanization of war. We don't want to focus into the battlefield, no, but the battlefield in the hearts, no? And in the spirits that really had dehumanized the spirit of people.
Under his direction, the actors gave life to Mindanao's situation.
Si Nestor is very giving, he's very generous. He lets us work, lets us try things, and then, kumbaga, very soft voice. Saka lang siya magsasabi kung ano, if it works, if it doesn't work. So, masarap magtrabaho sa kanya kasi talagang free range ka, bala ka, parang gano'n, tutulungan ka lang niya sa huli.
Filipinos should be aware of what's happening to our countrymen in the South. This is what Tanghalang Pilipinos strive for so eloquently in Madonna Brava ng Mindanao.
One thing, there's a very bad image about Mindanao. I mean, Abu Sayyaf and the war. But at some point in time, a lot of people in Manila and in other places does not really know the real story, and does not really know the very effects of the war on humanity, And people are really working hard in their clamor for a lasting peace. But when we do not look into how structural effects of the war on the individual, then the search for a lasting peace may not be guided, And so we present a different perspective of the war in order to deliberately disturb people's mind so that they would act and, be with us in our search for a lasting peace.
Even if it wasn't adopted, it's really very anti-war. Tapos if you look at the situation in Mindanao, di ba, ang tagal na parang kailan ba talaga titigil? And kasi we're here in Manila, we just read about it in the papers. It's so far from us. But really, they're our brothers and they're part of us. So parang if they don't understand what's happening there, at least when they watch the play, they will realize na, mga kapatid natin sila, they're part of us, andito sila sa Pilipinas, andun lang sila. Tapos ganyan yung gerang nangyayari sa kanila.
Don't go away, because when we come back, another remarkable female takes the spotlight. Find out who when the red carpet returns. Filipino stands above the rest to make her name known the world over. In her hands, pieces by Chopin, Beethoven, and other famous composers come to life. And as part of CCP's anniversary month, she gave 2 special concerts with her friend, Alban Gerhardt and the PPO.
Leo's Janicek, Beethoven, Shostakovich. Names that resound in the world of classical music. Hailing from the Czech Republic, Germany, and Russia, the masterpieces of these musical giants were given life at the CCP's Tanghalang Nicanor Abelardo. Part of their anniversary month, the Cultural Center of the Philippines gave lovers of chamber music a special treat by hosting not just 1, but 2 international renowned musicians of our time. As such anticipation ran high the night of the concert.
To watch Cecil Licad, because I know she's one of the greatest pianists now at present. And also, Gerhard is supposed to be one of the best cellists of this time. So I'd like to hear Gerhard.
We are going to watch the so-called genius, Cecil Licad.
I want to see Miss Cecil Licad. She is a piano wizard. I have read so much about her. She is fantastic.
Why am I here? To watch, I think, the first and the very, very first Philippine international artist perform. Child prodigy, probably nobody comes close to her. And these are one of the few chances I get to come here to see her, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Well, we live in Palawan, and we are constantly on the watch in 3 major Manila newspapers for concerts in Manila, because things are very slow in Palawan, and we like to come to Manila to watch the concerts. And when we heard about this concert 4 or 5 months ago, we immediately bought our air tickets.
Called a pianist by the New Yorker, Cecil Licad is a virtuoso classical pianist. She began her piano studies at the age of 3 with her mother, Rosario Licad, in her native Philippines, and later studied with the highly regarded Rosario Picasso. At the tender age of 7, she made her debut as soloist with the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra. As one of the youngest musicians to receive the prestigious Leventritt Gold Medal, she won immediate international recognition, thus launching her career.
I'm always happy to play here, and especially now too that I brought a friend along who, as he says, we're kind of soulmates in the music making. We don't need to talk about anything.
Making a debut in the Philippines, Berlin-born Alban Gerhardt joins his friend Cecile for not 1, but 2 nights of a special concert. Filipinos finally have an opportunity to know why he is considered as one of the greatest cellists of our time.
I always loved playing with Cecile, so it was a very easy debut, because with her it's very inspiring and music just happens, and that's the best, to be on stage and make music. So I had great fun.
This close friendship has a profound effect on their performance as well.
I lose my yung nervousness, like a typical performing, you get nervous and but somehow with him, it's like it's so natural, playing on stage. It's like being at home, it's like a plaything instead of playing, it's like I'm not afraid of making wrong notes. I'm not afraid of anything. It's just I feel like, yung nilalagyan ng buhay, we're putting life and into the music, which is my thing.
Well, it seems as if she can read my mind and I can read hers, and so I know what's going to happen next, even though I don't know. So it's very up in the air, everything, and but somehow it falls together.
This bodes well for the performances that night. And many went just to witness the two of them perform, including the founding chair of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, Madame Imelda Marcos. As a matter of fact, she was present at both concerts. Enthralling that night's audience with an amazing selection of classical music, including Leo Janicek's composition for the cello and piano entitled Fairy Tale, based on the story of Char Berendi, a poem by Vasily Tchaikovsky. Ludwig van Beethoven's Sonata for Cello and Piano in A, Opus 69, the most striking feature of which, its much more important and fully realized cello part as compared with earlier sonatas by Beethoven.